You have no idea.
Well, speaking of no idea, I have no idea who our next guest is. This is the 66th episode after the 600th episode, which makes that, I guess, episode 666. And we have a singer, I'm being told, coming on to the show. And let me introduce him here. Let me get his information here. And oh, wait a minute. This, I know who this is. This is a singer we've had on the show before. Please welcome back to the show, Leo Carpazzi.
Thank you. Thank you, Scott. What a thrill to return to the program on your 666th episode. What a milestone.
Yeah, not really. I mean, it's not like 650 or it's not like breaking off another hundo or anything like that. But what are you doing here, Leo? Don't I usually see you in October?
Yes, well, because it's the 666th episode, which is the number of the beast, famously associated with the macabre.
It's a human number.
A human number. But it's associated with devilry, with Lucifer, with Satan, whatever name you want to call him. And I too am associated with the dark arts. I, as you know, have composed one of the greatest, perhaps the greatest Halloween novelty song of all time, The Monster Mash, back in 1962, popularized by Bobby Boris Pickett that same year. Now,
the exact same year. Was that a coincidence that he popularized it that exact same year?
Well, I guess it was kind of the label had paired me, the songwriter, with Bobby Boris Pickett, the front man, and said, you take this ball and run with it. And I did the job I was hired to do, and he went and became a big star.
So that was the normal process, was someone would write a song and then the person would popularize it within 12 calendar months.
Yes, in the same way that Lennon and McCartney popularized many of their own songs immediately. It's the same process.
Well, not immediately. They would usually have to record it. They wouldn't,
That's
as
true.
They were playing it, it wouldn't become popular.
No, there is a little bit of lead time associated with the recording industry. But I wrote the song, The Monster Mash, in 1962. And as I've explained on the show before, the one that became popular was not my original vision for the song.
That's right. We've heard your original plans for the Monster Mash.
Yes.
What exactly were those plans?
Well, the monster imagery that I created for the original version was just too vivid, too disturbing, and the label would not allow it to see the light of the day.
Too descriptive.
Too descriptive. So I came up with the sanitized version. That's the one that everyone knows and loves, sings every Halloween. And
the one that we all know and love, how does that go? That goes something like Dracula's Bobbin' Apples, or I can't really remember the words.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot that goes on. Honestly, I've kind of lost familiarity with it.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever heard it as much as your version, which I've heard far too many times.
Yeah, well, I'm here for your 666th episode with some big news, which is that when I've come on the show before, I always say that I have a new song, a new composition, and I end up playing the same song that I always do, my original version of the Monster Mash. Well, things have changed.
Oh.
I wrote a new song for your 666th episode, and let me tell you, I'm aware of my raunchy reputation, and I leaned into it. I'm not running away from it this time. I'm leaning into it.
You're leaning into. Okay, so you've always been sort of like, modern day Andrew Dice Clay, who's trying to distance himself from his Hickory Dickory Dock days.
Right. Well, I predate the Dice Man. I mean, I was on the scene in the 60s.
I mean, he cometh back in the late 80s.
That's true.
And you were having your monsters cometh, back in the 60s.
We both had our blue periods that we distance ourselves from. Sure. But I have decided, you know what? That's what I'm known for. That's my gimmick. I've composed a new song for your 666th episode, and it is a little lewd. It's called...
So it's blue.
It's blue.
Okay.
And it is called, but also red, like the flames of hell.
Okay.
Because
like
it is so macabre.
That denizen of the underworld, Satan himself.
That's correct.
With his pointy tail, horns,
his pitchfork, poke you in the butt with it.
Sure.
It's no good. The song that I have composed is called, again, I'm leaning into the raunch, 66sex.
66sex. Now, are the two sixes spelled out so the title looks symmetrical, or is it the number six, and then sex?
I didn't think of how to put it to paper, but I think your first pitch is better. I think we'd write out six. Like the word.
What about
six,
a combo?
six,
like so it's at least it's kind of like a teeter-totter with two words at the end. It's like a six and then a number six and then sex at the end. So it's like, wow, this could go anywhere.
That to me, I'm picturing that, and that seems like the name of a SoundCloud rapper, which is really not my aesthetic. But I like it. 666. Let's do it. The first one's the word, the second one's a number, and the third one's a word.
Okay, so this is here's the issue to me, Leo.
Yes.
Every time you've come on the show, and you've done it at this point 7 times at least.
That's correct.
Usually on the Halloween shows, you lure me in by saying you've written a new song. You tell me the title, and it sounds like it's going to be a new song. And then you just sing the same song over and over with no variation. I just want to make sure that that's not happening anymore, because that's why I stopped asking you on the show in the first place.
Right. Scott, I assure you, this is a completely new song that I wrote from scratch.
Look, can you swear on a loved one's life? I know that it wasn't your daughter, Scaroline. Didn't she die, you said, the last time you were on the show?
Yes, my granddaughter, Scaroline, unfortunately passed away, but she did participate in this new song. She laid down her vocals from heaven. Oh. So she does have a presence on this all-new track.
Okay, will you at least say that, should you be lying, that your granddaughter Scaroline will be cast out of heaven and be submerged in the pits of hell at the very least?
I will say that in a heartbeat.
Because you're telling the truth.
Yes, may my granddaughter be cast out of heaven and into hell if this is not a wholly original song.
All right. Well, those are the assurances I need. So, okay.
Okay.
I'm willing to hear this. Okay, so this is a brand new song. This is exciting. This is Leo Carpazzi, who has not written a song since 1962, the same year that his previous song was popularized. This is a brand new song called 66sex by Leo Carpazzi. Let's hear it.
I was working in the lab late one night when my eyes beheld an eerie sight, for my monster from his slab began to rise, and suddenly, to my surprise, his trousers dropped right to the floor. With his bottom bare, he ran to the door. I said, Frankenstein, what's gotten into you? He said, my dick is hard and I need to screw.
He did the fuck.
He did the monster fuck.
The monster fuck.
It was a graveyard fuck.
He did the fuck.
That monster sucked and fucked.
He did the fuck.
He did the monster fuck, part 666.
Part six.
From my laboratory, I heard quite the racket. Deep in the castle, the vampires jacked it.
Part
The zombies all fucked in the graveyard grass. Wolfman wolfed down Frankenstein's ass.
They did the fuck.
They did the monster fuck.
The monster fuck.
It was a graveyard fuck.
They did the fuck.
Those monsters sucked and they fucked.
They did the fuck.
They did the monster fuck.
Part
The beasts all fucked as the orgy spread. Bigfoot gave the headless horseman head. Swamp Thing jerked off in the castle moat, while Frankenstein gagged from the jizz in his throat. The fucking was wet, there was spooge like mad. Igor decided to fuck his own dad. The mummy let out a horny moan when Medusa's bare tits turned his dick to stone.
They did the fuck.
They did the monster fuck.
The monster fuck.
It was a graveyard
They
fuck.
did the fuck.
Those monsters sucked and they fucked.
They did the fuck.
They did the monster fuck.
Part
And Frankenstein's bride was horny as hell. The hunchback went bareback and rang her bell. She got titty fucked by a giant spider. Jizz made the streaks in her hair much whiter. She fucked every monster, come one, come all. Her 3 holes were filled like a bowling ball. And while skeletons boned his undead bride, Frankenstein just jacked off and
Now you
cried.
should fuck.
It's now the monster fuck.
The monster fuck.
And it's a graveyard fuck.
The monster fuck.
Those monsters suck and they fuck.
Now you should fuck.
No, you can monster fuck part 6/6sex. Depraved. They're all depraved.
Okay.
And that's the new song.
That was the exact same thing, Leo, and you have to admit it. You have to admit that the only deviation from all the other times you've done it is occasionally, not even every time, you've said 6/6sex.
Yeah, the first and the final chorus.
Right.
It's look, it's a new song. It's a new I started this from scratch, and I have my things that work for me. I have my hook, and I just, like I said, I leaned into the raunch. I leaned into what I know.
Even you have to admit that this is the exact same thing. Why would you do this to me?
It's a similar song. It's got a similar structure.
99.9% of it is similar.
I will say this. Look at Rush's discography. A lot of their albums are treading the same ground.
Sure, but they're not singing about Tom Sawyer and Huckleberry Finn every goddamn song.
I mean, maybe that was their mistake.
It might have been.
Because that song was gangbusters.
Look, I'm sorry, Leo, but I'm afraid that your granddaughter is going to be cast into hell now. And you know that that's true, right? You knew that coming in.
Well, to be honest with you, Scaroline was looking to get out of heaven.
Really? Why?
It's kind of a lame scene. All your do-gooders are up there. People who saw that PSA about not downloading a car, and they're like, "Oh, I won't pirate a movie ever." It's all those kind of folks.
You got Jimmy on guitar and John Bonham on drums and David Bowie on Vox.
It's not like that.
Really?
No, you got Jimmy Carter on guitar.
He's not even dead yet.
Jimmy
As
Carter's
of press
not
time.
dead.
As of press time. So he's making trips up there?
He'll pop
in
up
his spare
there,
time?
Yeah. He's not very good.
Well, look, Leo, you've done it to me again, and I don't appreciate it. I don't want you to ever return. Is that okay?
Yeah, I'm okay if this is my final appearance. Happy 666 episode.
Oh, okay, Leo.
It's
Thank you.
What a milestone in podcasting. Congratulations.
It certainly is.
666 more.